And she said, hello, country bumpkin, and fresh as frost out on the pumpkin. So it's October 1st, and here's our first frost. The grass is frosty. Summer is officially over. Over and done, over and out. Yahoo! So, update on the missing 336 bucket teeth. It gets better. Idaho Falls lost them. Ain't that amazing? Western Equipment's got missing stuff all over. It's like, how do you run a business like that? I don't know. So the new one is, they're gonna get, I think, one out of Spokane, and I think Idaho Falls has two. So they're gonna have the last one in tomorrow morning. They're not gonna charge me for it. Woohoo! I wouldn't pay for it if they did. Yeah, we're going on 2 weeks plus for teeth. They don't stock teeth for a 336E bucket. What? I don't get it. So my video that you watched, I overlaid it with something because I was mad and I said stuff I probably shouldn't have. So we'll just leave it at that. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get my stuff. That's all that matters. So time to pull these off, put new O-rings. Always put new O-rings in the top and the bottom so you don't have a leak. And then put these back on very carefully so you don't mess up the seal. I got so much stuff to clean up before winter. I have got to get this mess cleaned up, especially all this 9 stuff. I got to get it stacked up somewhere and out of the way, because this is going to have to get pulled away, turned around, and shoved in the shop. Parts washer has a switch over here on the wall because I like to kill the juice to it, because it is a motor inside of a flammable liquid. It's never good to have stuff like that on all the time. Anyway, let's see if I can find the O-rings and stuff for that. Okay, this is where you flip this keeper out and lose it. So there's a spring under here. You gotta get these nasty clips off. Come on, baby, there you go. Clip. There's that, and then a spring, and the bolt comes out. And there's an O-ring up top that seals it. And then you don't want to jam a O-ring picker down deep, just enough to get that up out, because if I've had a lot of these where they're scarred from guys jamming sharp things in there and going clear to the aluminum. Man, sometimes they can be a bear to get out of there. Anyway, if you scar up that surface where it seals, it's not going to seal. I just try to poke it and then pry it up. It just doesn't want to come. This is where I poke my finger with this. Come on, baby. Get out of there. There you go. There you go. Anyway, it's just a seal like that. This is why I like to convert them over to spin-on filters. But in order to do that, you got to find a 1693 truck engine without a retarder. And you need the oil manifold off of it to make this work. Those drip dry, and we'll go out and pull the old filters out and then get some new ones and stick in there. Clean the canisters off. They need to be clean up top where these caps go on, or they aren't going to seal. Hello, honey.
Hi.
Mr. Griffey. What you doing, buddy?
Oh, we brought some bones.
Oh, you bought a pile of them, did you?
Brought some bones to hide.
Let's go to J-Mart. Woo! Alright, hope I got some of these old-timey filters in here somewhere. Pretty sure I bought a big old box of those. Oh, that reminds me too, I gotta order more grease. I'm about out of grease. Oh, right here. Here they are. Right there. Right there. Take one out. Put it in this little box. Then you gotta clean this top up good around the edge. And you put new in. Alright. There we go. Take a clean one. Make sure it's clean. Voila. Now we'll go put those covers together. So I got everything cleaned up here. Mrs. Anderson Griffey came out, tied some bones.
Of all the ideas that became the United States, there's a line here that's at the heart of all the others. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and provide new guards for their future security. People don't talk that way anymore.
Beautiful. Huh. No idea what you said.
It means if there's something wrong, those who have the ability to take action have the responsibility to take action.
And you can stop taking that garbage. Anyway, long rant. I'm over. Let's go put this shit back on. So, when you put them on, where's the hole? I gotta find a hole. There it is. So what I like to do to ensure no leakage is I screw them down. Yeah, that's still there.
Going in. You get this lid down here and then stop letting it don't let it rotate. No rotisseration. And make sure that that's going on, that the round part of this is going up in there. And sometimes you have to kind of do this to make sure she's going down without any interruptions.
And when you tie it down, don't get carried away. It's not good. Just get that washer in. Work things. That's not good. You remember that bolt on that 70 piece of oil. So slow squeeze that out through the there's already carried away. Come back, put them up after pulling that once and doing that because they will kind of more. So back in the day, before they had decent turbos, can't put exhaust bypasses on everything, because if your fuel rack setting was set to run at sea level and then you hauled one of these up to over 7,500 feet, you could overspeed the turbo. Well, that's not an issue really anymore. So what I do with these things is I've taken these out before, and there's a valve in here. It's just like an exhaust valve, only the face is on the front side, and it goes in here just before this passage. And so you gotta, if your elbow's burned up in there, it's gonna leak and you're not gonna make boost. So I've replaced them before, but what I've done is I've gutted this thing and put the housing on there and put the valve in, and then took a drill and some lapping compound on the face of that valve in there and made sure that it was sealing all the way around. And once I'm sure that it's sealed, then I go ahead and put it together. But there's a diaphragm in here, and there's a big spring facing that way and one the other way. And what I do is just put both the springs so that it shoves that valve in there and it can't bypass. It would have been really cool if, when the aftermarket boys started making these, they'd have made them without this, and you wouldn't have had to have that. But anyway, the airline that runs this, it goes around, everything's gone, it's plugged. So that's only there because I need something to push on that valve to close that passage off. So if you've got one of these old babies, 343, whatever, and you can't make boost, this is where you're going to want to look. Because if you can't get the exhaust through there, if your exhaust is bypassing the turbine, you're not going to make any boost. Okay, look at the amount of oil that came out of that engine overnight. A lot of oil. You saw me take out those other 2 buckets, and then it was just dribbling when I put that bucket in. That's how much oil is going to come out of that giant filter base in those canisters. And that's why it's so slow to get oil pressure. And one of the things we found after putting the remote filters on is 10 gallons of oil will put it well over the full line on the dipstick. So if you got one of these and you change the oil and you don't pull that plug and drain that canister, and you just close the drain after it quits, that's how much dirty oil you got in there. Okay, so I have to put my funnel in there, and then I have to get a little cord, go around this retarder pipe and pull it over so I can hit the hole. Now this one, this narrow nose, is 10 times easier to hit this hole. Look at how much room I have with a 2.5 gallon jug to pour that oil in. I'm not going to spill any unless I get distracted talking to you, not watching what I'm doing. Two and a half. All right, now let's do that 3 more times and we'll be full. All right, we got 400 cases of the good stuff in her, the Dilio 400. So I need to get it started so I can start the back motor and let it warm up so I can dump the oil in it. No, you're right, I should have done that the other day, but I ran out of time. And I just thought, well, I'll get this one drained because it needs to drain overnight. So I want to show you how long it takes for one of these old girls with the canister style filters to get oil pressure versus one with a remote mount filter. And like I say, I think the reason is because a big old cast iron housing and those canisters hold so much oil that it takes that long to fill it. Now this one will take even longer because it's been drained completely. But when you start the other ones with the remote mount, it comes straight out of the block to the filter and back. You get oil pressure right now. And that's got to be a good thing, doesn't it? All right, here we go. Pushed it the wrong way. Oh well. Not seeing any oil pouring out, so that's a good sign. So I got the battery charger out here on the 613. Matt says he might need it over there on that rock job to haul a little dirt. So I got one set hooked up. Cyclone, he's got a spinner on this baby. I wonder if it still spins. Caterpillar, Johnson Manufacturing. That's a big old Johnson, boys. Well, let's move these to the other batteries here for a while. Yep, about 20 amps. So we'll let that work on that one for an hour and then maybe come try to start it. So I've had the battery charger on here for quite a while. On both batteries. Should we see if she'll go? Let's see if she'll go. Oh man, it's hard to get up here. There's no step. All right, here we go. Well, that's interesting. Never seen it not start, for crying out loud. What in the world? Okay. Guess it's time to look under the hood. Ooh. The big 613. Let's call Matt. Oh, there's the filler cap for the hydraulic tank. Call Matt and see what he says. Well, I got oil in all three of these. Oil's changed, filters changed, cleaned up my mess. So tomorrow I guess I'll start figuring out what's wrong with the compressor on number 3. Somebody asked how the retarders on these work. If you go back to when I was putting the 18 speed in my Kenworth, I had the retarder out of it to reseal it, and I showed in detail all the components and how it works. But basically it's a big rotor with vanes, and when you pull the handle down, it opens a valve and it pushes oil in, and that pumps around there, turns that rotor into a giant pump and creates incredible amounts of heat and drag. And that's how it works. All right, well, fun. Maybe I'll get the service truck over here and hook the air into it and jack it full of air, see if it'll even hold air. Well, now I know why it won't build air. I finally traced it down to in here. Do you see anything wrong there? So I do not understand this one bit. What kind of animal could chew through? Well, these are not the cloth covered ones. These are just Goodyear rubber hoses. Just chewed clear through them. I mean, chewed clear through them. There's a bolt. God, what did it do? Have a wrench too? It was undoing stuff. What in the hell? That's just... Sniff that, Mr. Griffey. Tell me what's been in here. What is that? Oh, he's giving her the sniff. What is it, Griff? Mr. Griff senses something. Boy, he's a sniffing the heck out of that. Mr. Griff will get him, kill him, grab him by the throat and shake him to death. Yeah, get him, Griff. What is it? Get him. Is that a kitty? That damn kitties. So, that area that you circled on the tire, dude, it's just cobwebs. I don't know, whatever creatures build those little white things. I cleaned it off. There's no nail in the tire. No iron. Anyway, we've discovered what chewed the hoses up. We got a raccoon. And there's a fresh poop on the back motor back there, and those little paw prints like a raccoon in the fresh oil. So it was here last night. Then up here there's a pile of shit up on the deck up here. It's just incredible. And you remember when I was working on the 9 and I showed it looked like there had been a cat in the seat of the cat? That wasn't a cat, that was a raccoon. That's what that was. So I have torn apart all these hose hold downs because I thought the air was leaking here in these hoses. But what it was is it was making a squealing noise because those hoses back there were busted completely in two. So I'm disassembling all this shit going, where is this coming from? And then when I finally got off and walked around there, I could hear it squealing in the draft tube. So I knew what it was. And I gotta put all this crap back together and get these hoses all organized again, which sucks. So this is the mess of hoses you have on a scraper. And these ones that go down through here, it's imperative that you protect them and get them so they don't rub on the hitch. And then these ones that go down under the hitch, this is the only machine that we haven't put that black stuff on. I should have done that. So there's that poop. That's raccoon poop. It's all over the deck on this one too. Looks like I brought home a lot of rocks from that river job. Anyway, this needs a bath up here. Get rid of that poop and stuff. So let me go get a new nut. I'm gonna go get the new nut, Scott. The new named nut. Alright, so I gotta get some of these awesome zip ties that Tom out of Illinois sent me in Romeoville. Tom sends me lots of cool stuff, like that yellow set of coverall deals. Anyway, he sent me all these, and these are awesome. I mean, awesome. These are the best zip ties in the world. The only thing I need to do is I need to go to town. Maybe Electric Wholesale has one. I need a zip tie gun. You know, works better if you talk with your hands, then you can understand. Zip tie gun. So you can take these, put them through here. Okay, Jeff, come on. Oh, you're trying to go through the wrong hole, moron. It's got to go this way. That helps when you go through the right one. So we'll just bring this up here and kind of pull it down snug so I can make it hold still, and then I'll have to rearrange all this stuff. And like I said, I need a zip tie gun. Crop prices suck. You know, we have had 0 calls this year from farmers that wanted to cover rock piles. 0, none, nada. So somebody asked me why this late in the year we're getting the scrapers going. Well, we're gonna go dig a couple of great big pits for construction and demolition waste for Power County. And I didn't want to do it in the summer. It's too hot. It's hard to keep them cool because your cycle times are like, I mean, they're under 5 minutes, and the cat will push-pull to get all the clean dirt off, but then we get down into petrified volcanic mud, and then we hit obsidian, lots of other rock, really hard dirt. So the D9 has to rip, just constantly rip, and it's just working the dog crap out of it, and the scrapers are going around and around and around. It's tough to keep things cool. So I just told them that I would do it, get the job done towards the end of the fall when it's cooled down quite a bit. All right, so I'm trying to get this down there as far as I can and keep this somewhat nice and neat if I can. Okay, that's sort of what I want. Let's come up around there. And then I got to make sure that I've got enough slack. So what happens is when you drop the bowl, since that hose is tied to the bowl, this whole thing goes down clear almost to here. And if these hoses are hanging out over here or wherever, it rubs a hole in them. You can see they've been rubbing there, and that's no good. So Cat used to, on number one, there's none left. Oh, there's some down at the bottom in a pile. What they did is they made it's like I don't know what it was made out of. I want to call it canvas. I don't know, some kind of thick sewn tan material. It was like a giant belt. And so one end of it screwed to the hose stem down there. And then you come up over here, and then it had buckles. And you tied everything together with these buckles, and then it went to here. And they were awesome, but over time, the weather would rot them, and they'd just go to heck. So number one still has the remnants. So yeah, there's the clamp. And then this one, I should just take all this off and get rid of it. Only reason I left it there is it's holding all that stuff in. But this is what it was, and it had these buckles. Anyway, see, that's actually been undone. So I get some of those good zip ties on there and just cut all that stuff loose. So I got my air hoses fixed. It's amazing, that compressor will keep up now that it's not blowing air out 2 3/8 lines. Hello! So I'm gonna get going on the AC on this, and then put this video out. And you probably won't see me till Monday next week. So anyway, you guys have a good weekend, and we'll see you later.